Good morning, OHS. It's Leah, and let's get into your news for today. Are you looking for something fun to do with your friends or family outside of the school? The Safeguard Committee is selling raffle tickets to win a prize full of fun things to do around Fredericton and the surrounding areas. The prize includes gift cards to Steamer 36, Delta Hotels, Cruise Scooters, Cineplex Cinemas, Good Guys Golf, I Spy Escape Rooms, and more. Tickets are $5 each, or you can get 3 tickets for $10, and they can be purchased on School Cash Online or from Ms. Hoffman or Mr. Howell. Are you wanting to get more involved with our international students from our AEI program? Sign up to be an international buddy and you'll be assigned an AEI student next year. If selected, you would be writing a letter to the international student over the summer to introduce them to our school, Canada, and yourself. You would also come to Grade 9 Orientation Day to attend a welcome party for our new arrivals. You would be the first OHS students that the new arrivals meet, so you would need to be a leader and have a good impression on them. You would provide them with a tour of the school and spend the day with them having fun. If you're interested in signing up, scan the QR code and fill out the form now. Join us for a bike ride through the Oromocto wetlands. There will be a bike ride tomorrow at 4 p.m. and all students are invited. Bring your own bike, helmet, and tag along for a scenic ride with your friends. The bike ride is free to attend. There's an ICU meeting today at lunch in Ms. Hoffman's room. If you're part of ICU, please come down at the start of lunch.
When did you start drumming together, and how have you progressed to where you are now?
So we started drumming back in grade 9, and during those days, we weren't the strongest with our drumming or singing or doing any teachings. And through the years, Miss Sarkis pushed us to do better, and it's a big thanks to her.
In what ways have these teachings impacted other schools?
It definitely has an impact on other schools. It keeps the traditional style going, and it gets the new generations to learn how to dance as they're young, to keep them going.
What is the story of the school drum group? When did you start drumming together? How have you progressed to where you are now?
We all started drumming together in elementary school. There was a little group of us that started out at Hubbard Elementary School, and then by the time we got to middle school and high school, we had many other people join.
In what ways have these teachings impacted other schools?
I think they impact other schools by making it an interactive way for the younger kids to learn about Indigenous culture, and it makes other Indigenous students who are younger that go to school feel recognized by seeing their culture being taught by other kids.
Why do you think it is important to keep these teachings going?
To spread awareness on Indigenous culture, to let other little kids know that other little Indigenous kids know that once they get to high school, they might have opportunities to do the same thing and share their experience and culture.
What good things have come from you being a part of the Indigenous Teachings Group?
I have learned way more a ballistic way than I originally knew.
Okay. In what ways have these teachings impacted other schools?
They've impacted other schools because as we can go to other schools that don't have history classes, and then they can still learn what they haven't known.
In what ways have these teachings impacted OHS?
They've impacted OHS because they have brought out the drumming to people who haven't learned drumming, and they can come to drum and learn.
How do you feel after sharing your teachings?
It feels pretty good knowing that we could go out and teach kids.
Why do you think it's important to keep these teachings going?
So then it's not forgotten like how it almost already is.
Why do you think it's important to keep these teachings going?
I think it's important to keep these teachings going because not a lot of people know about the Indigenous culture, and if they do, they're not really aware of what we do, what our traditions are, and what we like to enjoy. So it's just a really good thing for us to be able to go out and share that with the people that don't have that much knowledge on it, and it's a fun way for us to be a part of our culture.
What is the story of the Indigenous teachings you take part in? How did they start?
I take part in dancing and drumming. I started when I was like 7.
What is the story of the Indigenous teachings you take part in, and how did they start?
Well, I teach dance, and so I started doing dance in grade 3 whenever I moved from Gagetown School to Hubbard with Mr. Foley's class, and we had Pizzazz teaching us how to do dance. And so that's how I kind of started, and then I moved away, came back here, and I realized that they had a native class again, because there wasn't at my old schools, and I met Doug and Tessa, and they were the ones that showed me drum group. And I think the first time I danced here at this school was in grade 9 at a Sacred Fire, and so that's how I started. And then we started doing teachings, I believe, probably midway through my grade 10 year, and I've just been doing them ever since.
What is the story of the school drum group?
So I started drumming in grade 3. We had Evan teaching us. I don't remember his last name. We had Evan teaching us. And once I moved away, there was no drumming teachings or anything like that. And then I came back and it was Doug and Tessa who introduced me to the drum group. And I knew only like 2 songs. And after getting a hang of it with Doug, now I know like at least 6.
In what ways have these teachings impacted OHS?
The teachings that we teach for OHS is giving other kids a chance to come and be a part of our little community and learn things that they haven't learned before. and just give them a chance to do new things and exciting things. Have them join in on us, like when we drum, when we hand drum, teach language, smudging, dancing. Like, I think it's a good thing to do, because like not only is it good for Orange Shirt Day, but it's good that we have our own little community within the school, because not a lot of schools have that, and I think it's amazing.
In what ways have these teachings impacted other schools?
Well, when we teach other schools, it's helping our culture and just getting around, and more people can learn. And because like a lot of people in schools and stuff have mentioned how they hadn't known about anything about residential schools or anything about our culture, so going out and teaching it at different schools is making a big impact, seeing how they have learned anything about it. They haven't learned anything, so teaching it is helping them know more.
Hi, it's the end of Indigenous Month, and so the Indigenous Leadership class has made a video to show you guys what the Young Eagle Drummers and our First Nations group does.
That's all I got for today. Go Blues!